As the scientist who discovered that the human brain can survive bodily destruction, can continue to function as a dynamo of living thought, generating a mental power greater than the science of man, Gene Evans, as his assistant, sharing the burden of a terrifying knowledge with ever-increasing fear and hatred.
Stop it! Mr. Donovan intends to dominate the international financial scene. And a fatal accident will occur to all who happen to stand in his way.
Steve Brody as the reporter who probed too deeply into the beyond and received the full impact of its deadliest forces.
Yoakum's death was no accident. Donovan engineered it.
And the same thing could happen to us. Donovan could kill us the same way he killed Yoakum.
That's right. And it's too dangerous to wait any longer.
Frank!
Surprised? Thanks to Dr. Patrick Corey, Donovan's brain will live, thrive, and continue to grow far beyond the body of Dr. Corey. It is already able to exist in any body, anywhere it will. Knowing this, you now know too much.
Nancy Davis as the woman who was compelled to submit to the brain's satanic vibrations of evil.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Wednesday night Scream Stream Mini-sode. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
How are we doing tonight, Evan?
I'm good. You're looking a little different there, Garrett.
I'm feeling a little different here, Evan. Thank you, Fresh.
Little lighter in the dome.
A lot lighter in the dome. Yes, loyal viewers will know that usually I've got these long golden locks hanging down on my shoulder. They're not here tonight. They're not here anymore. They're gone.
They're gone forever.
Gone forever, laid to rest. I know how vital they were to the success of this show, but I just had to, I told Evan before we hopped on here, because I had to prepare him because he hadn't seen this yet. So I had to prepare him for this.
Prepare myself mentally because it's
different. It's a lot. Yeah, I said, man, I wanted to get
a lot of inches there.
All taken off. I wanted that short hair that I could just, so many factors as to why I cut my hair. And I mean,
you got the little bit of the coif.
Well, and it just kind of does that, I mean, she, a scissor cut on top, but, I just kind of run my fingers through it. And that's how it looks. So, I go in and I just ask him for a nice flat cut on the sides and want to look like as Frankenstein square-headed shape as I can get. And, the hair definitely kind of just, and also makes me look a little taller. So multiple reasons why I wanted to get the haircut, but it is nice. It is a relief. I feel so much better. And usually I like to save these big, like dramatic changes for the beginning of a season and or a
Well, you just
Friday
couldn't
episode.
wait.
I couldn't wait. I was tired of waiting. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I don't think I've had my hair short since I think I last cut it short in November 2019. So yeah, and then it was kind of short like going into 2020, but I mean it's been pretty much shoulders and down since then. And yeah, after that many years, I figure, hey, do something a little different. And you were doing
Yeah.
something different just a second ago. You had your hood on, and then you took it off.
Yeah, not well. I couldn't wait either.
Well, I was liking the
I wasn't
look.
gonna
I
wait
was
for
liking
Friday.
it was giving you more of an edge, It was
Okay,
giving
okay, I can go back.
Well, I mean,
I
if
can
it's
very
not
easily-
uncomfortable for you, I mean, again, I cut my hair
what we're
definitely
looking for.
another reason out of comfort. But if that's the thing, if that's comfortable, then rock the look,
Yeah.
Evan. It looks great.
Okay, yeah, I look like a warlock now.
You do. You look like a warlock who also attends the occasional battle rap every now and again. And yeah, I think that's a look that we can all strive for in this day and age.
Those magic bars.
Oh my God! Don't even hit me with those magic bars, dude. Can't even stand them. So thanks everybody for joining us this evening. This nice crisp evening. It's definitely getting cooler outside. There's a little
It
nip
is.
in
I
there.
had to break out the jacket.
Yeah, I'm wearing long
Getting
pants right
all
now.
For reals.
Yeah, this is the first time I've worn long pants. Since the spring. So we know we're finally getting there, y'all. We're finally getting there. Of course, we've been there, and by there we mean spooky season, fall. We've been there. Every Wednesday and Friday, we've been serving it up thick, serving it up real thick for you. We've been enjoying our mini-sodes on Wednesday, which this season is an anthology horror series called 13 Demon Street, hosted by Lon Chaney Jr. Of course, hosted is a word we have to use incredibly loosely because although prominent in the first episode, he has really dwindled as a presence in the subsequent two.
A little bit. I mean, he is a ghost. We'll maybe give him that excuse.
I guess
Ghosts don't always show up, but I hope we have him tonight.
I hope so too. I'm not gonna get again. I always see a little bit of the episode in preparation.
I was
so
gonna
honestly,
cheat and look
yeah,
forward,
we
but I'm not gonna do it.
we don't. I go ahead and tell you we don't. Unfortunately, but again, we've gotten some pretty creepy, weird stories out of these so far, and we definitely, as much as we would enjoy seeing Lon Chaney, it's still pretty serviceable. Writer director Kurt Siodmak is he's serving it up thick, with all these little stories, these little spine tinglers. Again, we've been talking about him this season. We've been talking about Chaney, of course, earlier on the main show this season. We watched another collaboration of theirs, Bride of the Gorilla, which was, yeah, it was so. We established that it was fine, but these have been some pretty good stories. Like Kurt. I mean, obviously, he was a very skilled writer, and he's had some nice little. Again, last week's episode was a nice little conceptual thing with a television crew trying to catch a ghost on camera, live on TV. I mean, that's a novel little concept for 1950.
Yeah, well, I guess I should say it was a ghost investigation that turned into a murder mystery.
Which I'm just assuming now all of these episodes are going to be some kind of murder mystery. It's going to seem like there's a supernatural element involved, but really it can be explained away with psychology, and there's just a murder
in any of these episodes. We know now
he did it. It's always the butler. I'm sure that was Kurt Siodmak's one fault, his one constant trapping he fell into as a writer. He just couldn't make it anybody but the butler. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what we can get with
Yeah,
that.
last week's episode really it raised the bar though, because yeah, I've been keeping tally of the crimes each week,
Oh,
and I think
okay.
we're yeah, just I've started taking notes just so I can actually remember what we see on this show,
That's
and
awesome.
I think we're gonna have trouble topping the butler murdering people. That's pretty high on the list of crimes, I think.
I think so. Definitely higher than the second episode that we saw. Although I don't know, man. I'm still pretty entranced by the first crime, the first episode. That really got me. I mean, cutting off a murderer's hand and putting it on your arm, and then worrying that your hand is going to go around and start killing people. I mean,
Yeah, certainly a crime against nature, if not a crime against man.
yeah,
I mean, it was a crime against a man.
I mean, you got to take them, you got to weigh them out. I mean, the scales of justice in hell probably don't weigh quite the same as they do, here on Earth, in the legal court system. We're in ghost court here with Lon Chaney. That's what 13 Demon Street is. It's the ghost courthouse, and Lon Chaney, he's really some kind of bizarre magistrate. And
yeah, he's a ghostly public defender.
Right, exactly. I mean, we're finally putting the pieces together. I mean,
I think we're just writing a more interesting show.
I think so. And which happens.
And if he can find a worse crime, then they have to be the public defender.
Yeah. That one's obviously, they're not going to be as good. Follow-ups never are. Sequels, spin-offs. There's the word I'm looking for. Spin-offs never are, but I'm sure they'll try something. No, we'll see. I'm definitely, and again, there are 13 episodes of this. 3 of these we will not watch because they have been recycled into a totally new movie, a feature film entitled The Devil's Messenger, which features Lon Chaney a little more prominently, I believe.
Are these episodes related, or were they just cut together in such a way?
No. It's an anthology film. It just takes 3 of the different stories and it shoots more wraparound stuff with Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would be pretty impressive if you just cut together 3 episodes of TV and somehow made a movie.
I mean, you would be surprised if you go research into, like, there were certain television shows in the 60s. I don't know if it goes back to the 50s, but definitely the 60s, where they would, if it was a half-hour show, they like take 3 episodes that had some kind of story arc, cut them together into a movie, and then release it overseas. As like in theaters overseas. That was a really popular.
The foreign audience won't know any better.
Yeah, I mean, no, they would do that, and they would do that with like. There's a history of like them doing that with like failed TV pilots. What was it? I mean, there are even more recent examples. The one I love, the David Lynch movie Mulholland Drive started as a TV show. And then he couldn't quite get it like figured out, so he just turned it into a movie. And it's kind of I mean, if you're having trouble getting a return on your investment, and you can just kind of cut some things together and make up something brand new.
We like recycling.
We do. We get a lot of recycling on this show. It's kind of, we're really green over here. Obviously, I'm green over here, but the show as a whole is also very green.
Yeah, this show's gonna save the planet.
We are prepared to be the ultimate Captain Planet warriors that the country needs.
How much carbon can the screen capture?
That's a great question. First of all, because I would love to know how carbon capture even works. One day we're gonna do a whole stream on carbon capture, because I'll be honest, as a child, ever since I was a child, I've been fascinated by how the hell are they getting all these pollutants and stuff that they're pumping in there? How are they going to get them out? So I'd love to know what the process is.
All they really need to do is just put the factory, like switch it to reverse, and it just sucks all the smoke back in.
So we're going cartoon rules here. We're going Looney Tunes rules for sure. I think that works. I don't think there's a problem there. Yeah, we'll get to carbon capture eventually, but we're gonna try to save the earth one little atom of carbon at a time. I don't even know what carbon is made up of. I'm not.
Does carbon come in atoms?
Does it? I'm gonna need a scale. I'm gonna need your conversion chart on this. I'm no scientist over here.
Periodic table. So double check the carbon's on there.
Now, if I was a mad scientist, I would just say, yeah, sure, that's exactly what it is, and move on. That's, mad scientist logic for you. They're always right, never wrong. No such thing as a theory. Gotta love it. Yeah, so anything before we get into tonight's installment of 13 Demon Street, Evan?
Have we said the title yet?
No, we haven't. Really interesting title on this one. The title of tonight's episode is The Book of Ghouls, which is, ghouls is such a fun word to say anyway. I don't know if you've really thought about it that much.
Fun word.
We've been forced to say it and think about the word many times, and so I've many times thought about what a strange word it is. It's one of those words when you say it too often, it's like, am I even saying this right? Like ghoul. Am I struggling with this word? Am I over pronouncing it? Ghoul. Oh, I'm not looking at it. Oh, I don't know what's going on in there. I don't know what's.
Sorry to ignore
the YouTube chat. Might be. I don't have it set to multi-stream. I'll go on YouTube and check it out. I want to catch up. I have to be caught up. I can't. It will drive me crazy. So let me look at that. But anyway, so I don't know what's going on. Book of Ghouls, definitely an interesting. Let's see, an interesting. Oh yeah, the chat's going crazy. Okay, what is a Sweet Feet, and Fresh? Okay, you guys are hanging out over here. Oh, and
nice scientific discourse going on.
Stephen C, another good friend. Okay, sweet. I'm all up in the YouTube chat now. I got it. I'm caught up. We're good to go. So sorry, Evan. Anything before we get into it?
Is the Book of Ghouls what they used to call the phone book, like the yellow pages?
Yeah, I think.
Or is that just me?
I think it's applicable. I think it works. Well, on that note, if you've got it queued up,
I'm ready.
All right, and we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of 13 Demon Street, The Book of Ghouls, right now. Damn. Some loud lightning. It's too loud. Got it. Starring Lon Chaney. Really?
Yeah, you better be in this. It's starring.
Again, Swedish co-production, so don't be frightened by the Swedish subtitles. Don't be alarmed by the Swedish at the bottom of your screen.
Number 13 Demon Street. I am condemned to live here, to suffer on this earth eternally, as a punishment for my sin. It is said that no greater outrage was ever committed by any mortal. But Should I find a crime more heinous, my terrible punishment will end.
Getting that again. Now roaming through the... Damn. Just cut him right out.
One thing that I don't know that we've really mentioned this, how is he supposed to find these crimes if he's stuck in that house?
These windows and doors just seem to lead to whole new places. They're just, it's a time traveling house.
Ghosts have really good vision.
Need a border.
But you know the doctor said you shouldn't work anymore. And our savings are low.
Border, indeed.
It's English. The subtitles are in
What's
Swedish.
this? Is this your book?
I don't think so. Why?
Don't be alarmed,
I've never
Fresh
seen it
English.
before, and I clean those shelves so often.
What is it?
Book of Ghouls. No,
Getting right into it.
just a lot of nonsense about tombs
And what?
and the living dead.
Shocker.
Interesting.
Say tools?
Let me see it.
Tools and
Sit down,
ghouls?
throw it out.
Please, Amelia. Let the reader be of stout heart, with courage beyond that of mortal beings, with desire for riches and long life, for this writing contains the laws of the ghoul, the living dead.
Ghouls got laws. Oh
Very
shit.
interesting.
Here, I'll get rid of it.
Wait a minute.
They're just like us.
Listen to this. Whosoever fulfills the rituals of this volume will live long after those in his lifetime are gone. He will have untold wealth if he obeys.
Obeys what?
It's absurd, but listen. On the oldest tomb in a cemetery, present and comply with the following demands. The beak of the raven. Steal an omen of death. The skin of a reptile. And last, seek out a man who does evil and kill him.
And you got yourself a stew going.
Kill a man.
You got yourself a
and get
ghoul
an omen.
Ooh, ghouls. Wait,
Look, there are pictures too.
ghoul stew.
This is a
Well, anyway, I think it's a waste of time rereading.
Wait a minute. Let me finish, then you can throw it out.
So this is where Twilight Zone got it from.
Must be carried out according to the orders herein. Once the ritual begins, it must be completed, or the initiator of the ritual will perish. Take heed, for these are the orders of the Book of Ghouls.
Ooh. Scary stuff.
How do you do? I understand you have a room for rent.
A room? Yes, we have a room. Won't you come in?
Thank you.
He looked like he already came into me. Jeez. Just kind of made his way
My name
right
is
through that
Andrew
door.
Pescu.
I'm Emilia Zachary.
I'm ready to move in immediately.
Please come in and meet him.
Thank you.
You're approved.
Father, this is Mr. Lopesco.
Background check, what's that?
I'm Edward Sakerley.
I'm pleased to meet you, sir. My name is Anton Lupesco.
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
What business are you in, Mr. Lupescu?
Well, I'm an instructor of languages, sir. I've come here to look for a position at the university.
A man of learning. I like that. Amelia,
What do you make
show
of this
Mr.
crazy
Lupescu
book?
the room.
This way, please.
You know, I got a book of letters for you right here.
The room isn't very elaborate, but it's comfortable. I hope you like it.
I think I will like it. I'll take it.
Not elaborate. Look at that dog picture hanging on the wall back there. My God, what a
The room
masterpiece.
includes meals. If there's anything you need, just let me know.
Thank you. I'll go to bed early. I have to begin looking for work in the morning. Oh, there is one thing. I like to read before going to bed. Do you suppose you might lend me a book?
Of course.
Have
Thank
I
you.
got a book for you?
It's got this weird sticker on the back. Oprah's Book of the Month Club.
Did you find a book?
Yes. Where did you get this strange volume?
Oh, that. We don't know where it came from. It's terrifying.
Yes. Whoever fulfills the demands of this book will find untold wealth. You don't take this seriously.
Oh, I don't take it seriously at all. I don't like mysterious things.
No, I don't blame you. Still, it is fascinating. I wonder, would you mind if I took this book to my room?
Not at all.
Thank you.
You know, you brought this book back to me and the pages were all sticky, and you know, I really don't think I should be letting you take this book into your room anymore.
Yeah, he likes to read before bed.
What's he's doing the Charlie Brown walk out of here.
Yeah. Can't find a job. No dogs allowed.
Mail? Aha. You suppose it'll be good news?
I hope.
Do you suppose this guy is gonna not be able to get a job and turn to this get-rich-quick scheme?
Yeah, I would guess so. I think that's got to be his only option after a certain point. Yeah, it's nice reading before bed. Everybody loves a good book.
No.
Nope.
Position filled this year.
They're just gonna keep going
that's
through the
that.
rejection letters. Are you gonna kill 10 minutes of the show?
Tomorrow's another day. Come, let's go for a walk.
That's the real horror story, trying to find a job.
Applying, not hearing back. Well, at least he's hearing back. I mean, I'd rather hear no than be ghosted.
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe that's what the lesson is going to be here at the end. Something like that. I don't know.
Any luck today?
No. Nothing.
There's a good movie in the neighborhood. Would you like to go tonight?
So is she the
Any money?
older man's daughter?
Oh, I don't know, Amelia. What does a man do when he can't find a job?
I guess.
Apply for government aid and they say I'm too young. I don't know what I'm going to do. Seems strange a man of my education can't find
Well, you
work.
know, you could
You mustn't
so
worry
that I
about
recount a Always Sunny in
sure
Philadelphia
you'll like
plot
the
that
show.
is probably really like not hold up these days. You know which one I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I haven't tried everything yet.
Hello, I'd like some welfare, please. You know, I haven't seen any slum stations yet,
What can I
Fresh.
do for you?
No slum
You
armbands.
happen to have a raven?
Yes, I think so.
Uh-oh. He's getting all the stuff to make the ghoul stew.
Getting desperate.
I would like to buy the beak.
The beak.
Can I get just the beak? I want just the beak, please.
Okay,
How much
this
is
is
the
just
whole bird?
become a Monty Python skit.
160
Some Monty Python.
How much would you take for just the beak?
Don't you have anything cheaper?
I'd like it without the bird, please. Do you have anything cheaper? What? Oh, he's just gonna rip the beak off and run out. Oh!
Beak of a raven.
Damn, this guy's fucking really desperate.
Here's our first crime of the night.
He's got to kill a guy too, right?
He's got to kill an evil guy.
And yeah, that's gonna be hard to find, maybe.
I feel like usually this kind of thing, like, that's the down. Like, you get untold wealth, but you have to kill an innocent person. But if you get rich just by killing an evil guy, then that just kind of feels like a win-win.
Yeah, I mean it's like, kind of like Dexter rules, right?
I have fulfilled the first demand of the Book of Ghouls. Now I must find a symbol of death.
A symbol of death.
Did the book say you have to recite?
Let's take a break right there, and I'm at 11:40. So that was the first half of the Book of Ghouls. And what was your question, Evan? I'm sorry.
I said, did the book say you have to recite each step out loud as you complete?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, no. It was clearly in the fine print at the very bottom. It's only works if you say it out loud. Yeah, we'll see. He's only he's what are there 3 steps or 4 ingredients or what? It's not going to be easy. He's only 1 step of the way. He
can't stop now, though.
No,
he's in too deep.
Once you rip that beak off of that antique bird, you're kind of dug in at that point. Dug in. Interesting little, multi-step ritual. I thought he would have just done it all at once. I would have just gone out and gotten every
book. That is there like a time limit once you get started?
I don't know. You'd think there'd be a little more rules, but or maybe there are more rules. We're just not getting them. But I would just, me, I like to be prepared. I just bring everything at one time so I can just go ahead and
more efficient.
One trip.
Walk all the way out to the cemetery.
And you got to find the oldest tomb in the cemetery. You know how long of a search that is? Man, I only want to do that once, so let's get everything. Let's go kill the evil guy, and then let's go.
If I'm doing an occult ritual, I don't really care about getting my steps in, to be honest.
No, that's the least of your...
Just do it one and done.
I mean, that's why you're doing the ritual, to eliminate things like steps and poverty and, just all the problems in your life, things that you're worried about. Poof. They go away when you've got the Book of Ghouls on your shelf. So,
do you think this is going to be one of those situations where the riches, like the treasure, was in him the whole time?
Yes, I do.
The treasure was the evil people we killed along the way.
Yeah. I think that's the only moral that you can arrive at with where this seems to be going so far. I mean, it's definitely an odd little story for sure. So
I like it. I'm intrigued. This has been a pretty quick 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's gone. I mean, when it's interesting, it goes by fast. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny. This is the 4th episode of this that we've seen now, and I think one thing that I could confidently say is how different each of the episodes feels in terms of the kind of story it's trying to tell or what it's trying to tackle.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a pretty varied cast of characters. We had a surgeon, we had a painter, and a butler.
Now we got a teacher.
A poor teacher.
Yeah, an unemployed teacher. Aren't we all just unemployed teachers? Yeah, so we'll see how this works out for the teacher, but obviously the other guys, it hasn't worked out well. But yeah, I mean, just all the stories are really different. I mean, I feel like with The Veil and with One Step Beyond, I felt like there were times where it just kind of felt, I mean, and don't even get me started on the serials. Oh my God. You know how those cereals are. It's like really good the first couple of times, and then you're kind of used to the taste of it. It's really just familiar and kind of bland, and then you're ready for a new cereal, and you haven't even finished.
Chew on at that
Yeah,
point.
you haven't even finished the cereal that you've got, and then you want to just break into some new cereal. No, Silarn. We're gonna keep the commentary. Oh, hair. yes, Silarn, hair.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't notice at first. Yeah, can we just watch the show without the commentary, please? No, we can't, Silarn. Yes, you missed. I went on a whole 5-minute rant at the beginning of the show about my hair. Wherever the hair, you should have been on time. I can't help you, Silarn.
We've done our hair talk.
We've done our hair talk is over. We are fully locked in to 13 Demon Street. Yeah, nice plugs. Yep. Well, I made sure I got a good plug guy. I went to the best in the biz. Trying to think of an actor with really bad hair plugs. Like, yeah, I went to his doctor. I went to John Travolta's plug doctor. Yeah, there we go. I got one. Yeah, no, thank you, Silarn. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously you got to appreciate the writing. I think that's kind of the interesting thing about this show is that every episode is coming from one writer director. So there's kind of like each episode is varied, but there's almost still like a cohesiveness to the
kind of a style to it.
Yeah, the style and the tone and the atmosphere. It's all like, yeah, it's kind of weird the way that works. Because usually we're getting things that are, different writer, different director every week when we've watched these TV shows. So, yeah, so you gotta appreciate what old Kurt is putting into it. I mean, again, writing was his strong suit, and so I did a little more research into him. I thought he wrote like multiple novels. The only novel that he wrote was Donovan's Brain, which we saw a trailer for an adaptation of Donovan's Brain, not written or directed by Kurt Siodmak. We saw the trailer,
but featuring a kind of familiar face.
I mean, she was definitely widely familiar at one time, featuring First Lady Nancy Reagan. If you ever like, well, what would it be like if with a famous public figure appeared in a really obscure B monster movie? Then the answer, if that's a trivia question you get, it's Nancy Reagan, Donovan's Brain. Of course, this is when she was before she married Ronnie, when she was Nancy Davis. But she's in it, and it's I haven't seen it, but it seems like a kind of fun, interesting little film, and it got adapted again in the 60s. With it was like a British German co-production. Couldn't find a trailer for it, otherwise we'd watch it. But we saw the Donovan's Brain trailer in our pre-roll, and so now during our break we're gonna get trailers for two kind of similar stories, but not. The first is definitely kind of a play on Donovan's Brain, but it's got nothing to do with Donovan's Brain, really. And that is, of course, for the film The Brain That Wouldn't Die, which we have seen on this show. We know
that one.
We did. We watched that. Was that the beginning of our Summer of Schlock, or was that before? That was before that? Yeah, it was before that, because Summer of Schlock kicked off with Manos. That's right.
That's right, yeah.
We did The Brain That Wouldn't Die was our season premiere before that. I love that movie. I have a really soft spot for that movie. And it was really really just your perfect cheesy 60s film. But the Donovan's Brain story in this, it all deals with this idea of the Brain That Wouldn't Die, it's really a head. But in Donovan's Brain, it's a brain. It's not a head. It's just a brain that is like communicating and like using like a telepathic connection to like, kind of like the head does in The Brain That Wouldn't Die.
Yeah, was the brain always telepathic, or was the skull just kind of blocking that?
Well, it's a good question. I think there have been some studies that have shown that, if you get your skull plate shaved down, you might be able to increase your psychic abilities. Obviously, I haven't tried that yet. But if anybody's
100% of your brain.
Yeah, if you wanted to unlock every part of your brain, then it turns out you just got to get your skull shaved down a little bit.
There you go. Your skull is holding you back.
It's a simple procedure. It's the hot new plastic surgery. You go in, they shave your skull down. It only takes a few hours. You're in and out.
Is that what they mean when people say hanging brain?
Yep, that's exactly where that comes from. That's the informal name for the procedure. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go to the doctor and tell him I want to hang some brain.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. And that level of humor is perfect for the second trailer that we're gonna see, which is for again a movie with similar themes, but that actually shows like little bits of the first adaptation of Donovan's Brain in it. And it is called The Man with Two Brains, and it stars Steve Martin as a like neurosurgeon who is like he's skilled at doing these crazy brain surgeries, and he develops this like screw top method like to make the head like a screw top. And
does he just squeeze two in there, or does he have to like bring his head up a little bit?
It's a whole thing. It ends up being about a woman, right? He basically gets married to this crazy lady who wants to like, I think kill him and take his money, but then he falls in love with this brain that can like talk to him. So he wants to take the brain and put it into the woman's body. It's a crazy. I actually saw this movie when I was really young, like when I was like 8, and it's a little adult. It's definitely an 80s movie. You get your boobs. Nobody's hanging brain, but I mean, there's a lot of brain in the movie. You'll see in the trailer a lot of brain. But it's a pretty funny movie. It's it's Steve Martin and Carl Reiner directed it. They were the same team that did The Jerk, which I haven't seen The Jerk, but I know that a lot of people like The Jerk. So it's a pretty ridiculous movie, and the trailer's pretty funny. Got a lot of good moments from the movie. So we're going to enjoy these two Brain trailers. And then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of Book of the Ghouls. So stick around. We'll be right back.
You've lost the urge to experiment.
Oh, every time you touch me, I go out of my mind. Let me die. Let me die.
Her brain kept alive by experimental science, by a man whose abnormal passions inspired him to try the impossible.
I brought her back. She'll live and I'll get her another body.
So what of her soul? How can you make of her an experiment of horror?
His mad ambitions and desires threaten every woman possessing an attractive body. Girls whose measurements make them beauty contest participants. Professional figure models such as this. All are prey to his distorted desires.
What's locked behind that door?
Horror. No normal mind can imagine. Something even more terrible than you.
Horror has its ultimate, and I'm that.
Behind that door is the sum total of Dr. Courtney's mistakes.
He intends to kill somebody. To rob them of their body. We've got to stop him.
Ah!
He's a world-famous brain surgeon.
The only time we doctors should accept death is when it's caused by our own incompetence. 10-blade scalpel, Metzenbaum scissors.
Who wants only one thing in a woman.
That cat out of here.
The perfect mind in the perfect body. Steve Martin's out of control in The Man with Two Brains.
He's not wrong. He's dead. Dead? My God, I better get her to a cemetery right away. 10? Jumpy?
6 weeks and you haven't made love to your wife yet?
Into the mud, scum queen!
Oh, you have no hair. Oh, sorry.
Dr. Dead!
Were you out on the lake today kissing your brain?
As far as I'm concerned, you're the most complete woman I've ever known. All my life, I wanted women with great bodies.
Why? I had the top of her head off, but that's as far as it went.
Gloucester!
Steve Martin, the man with two brains. You'll laugh your cranium off. Yeah.
And we are back. So that was the trailers for The Brain That Wouldn't Die and The Man with Two Brains. And yeah, as you can see, The Man with Two Brains is very wacky and zany, and
that's a lot of fun. Steve Martin's always a treat.
He is, isn't he? Steve Martin is and definitely in that movie he's definitely playing a pistache of this like movie mad scientist, but also kind of goofy classic Steve Martin kind of character mixed with that. So it ends up being just kind of I haven't seen it in a long time. Again, I watched it when I was really little, so maybe it doesn't hold up. But it looks like kind of an affectionate parody of, honestly, most of the kind of movies that we watch here on this show. So
and Crashing Through the Walls was probably my favorite part.
Yeah, I always remember that bit, even as a kid, was that like he goes into this apartment building and he goes into this apartment of this like other like really mad scientist, and the whole thing looks like an old like castle and lab, but like the walls are just made of like paper mache and people are constantly like knocking things through it, and the guy's like, oh, it's okay, like we'll fix it up, it's not a problem. But like as you can see, it's a recurring bit.
That's fun.
Yeah, there's just a lot of like, it's full of sight gags and just, double entendres and, slapstick humor. I mean, it's your classic 80s zany comedy. So definitely if you like parodies, check out The Man with Two Brains. But yeah, it's funny, how much science fiction and like horror movies in general play with that idea of a brain having these capabilities beyond just being as part of a whole body. And in real life, like, we have made little advancements in that field. The Neuralink stuff is like trying to kind of move a little in that direction, I think. This idea that through implants in our brains we can kind of gain this, for lack of a better word, power.
Black Mirror existence.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely scary for sure, but yeah, I mean, sci-fi and horror has plenty of fun with brain transplants and psychic brains and all kinds of brain stuff. So Hanging Brain, you gotta love it. That's what we'll do. That's what I'll call the playlist for all the brain horror movies that we watch on the show.
There you go. Yeah.
Hanging Brain. Great. So we're about to get into the exciting conclusion of the Book of Ghouls. And so what do we think so far, Evan? This guy's on step 1 of 4. I think there's 4 steps. So he's got in a little bit of an uphill battle.
Yeah, he's got a few more steps to go. He's got to complete all of them, right? Like, there's got to be some kind of twist at the end.
Maybe he's going to think that he killed somebody that was, like, really evil, but it turned out they're only kind of evil, and it's not good enough for the ritual, so he's just going to hell. I don't know. You know, like, what's the
Stuck in the house.
I mean, obviously he's probably gonna bungle it in some way, otherwise, you know, why is it even a story on this show? He's definitely not gonna succeed. So we'll see just how he mucks this up. Anything before we get into it, Evan?
I think I'm ready.
Alrighty then. Well, excuse me. Excuse me. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of the Book of the Ghouls. If Evan has it queued up,
I do.
Right now. Oh, I didn't change it. Okay, we're good.
An omen of death feels kind of vague.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you could just pick up anything from a Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, any kind of Halloween decoration. You might have it laying around your house, you know? Why do you have to go to the... He's just frequenting all these antique shops and stealing shit. That's just not...
He can't afford it.
He's just making this, like, ritual all the more dirty with his petty crimes. He's trying to do a ritual for wealth, and he's gonna steal little trinkets in the process.
Right. He should be leaving these people some IOUs at least. Like, I'll pay you back when I get this occult wealth.
You see, Anton, life is full of surprises. One day you're on the brink of poverty and despair.
Wait, what?
And the next you're a university professor.
Did he do it?
Yes, I still can't.
Did he get a job?
You know, just last week they told me a new job wouldn't open up for a whole year.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Uh-oh.
With Paul's health improving and you getting a job, things are going to be fine. I had a feeling your luck would change.
Yes.
Maybe it is more progressive.
Afraid I've got to be going.
Like, you do it in steps and things get a little better and a little better. I just thought you needed to do it all to get...
Yeah, like it's not a lump sum.
Yeah, I've just always been thinking lump sum. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. What the hell? You got snakes in my drawer. What the hell was that? It's not snakeskin. What was that?
Do you really believe in this book?
Why not? These strange beliefs are as old as mankind.
It surprises me you take witchcraft seriously. Tombs and sacrifices to the undead in this day and age.
I tell you.
That's the kind of teacher I want. All right, kids. Today we're gonna do a sacrifice.
Coincidence and luck.
Coincidence? That I'm suddenly made a professor at the university? Coincidence that your father suddenly gets well?
Now don't tell me this has anything to do with my father getting well. And
I don't know what's happening, Amelia. I only know that whatever it is, it can
Does
do
it
nothing
count
but
as
good for us.
prosperity gospel if it's witchcraft?
Amelia, I love you. I want security.
It's a good question.
I don't want to be poor.
Why
I
not?
don't like this, Anton. I want you to stop this foolish thing.
I don't care whether you like it or not. I won't be told what I can or cannot do.
I only listen to what the book says.
Could you spare a little money for a hungry family, sir? I have no money. And even if I did, you wouldn't get any of it. I may be poor, my friend, but I'd never resort to begging.
My wife and child are starving. What can I do?
You can lie, cheat, steal if you have to, but don't beg.
Dang, some teacher he is, man.
We're rich. I can't believe it. Oh, Father, it's wonderful.
And that man would go on to be Donald Trump.
But we will.
Lie, cheat, steal.
A lot of money.
Amelia! Edvard! Well, my friends, life isn't as bad as I thought.
What happened, Anton? Don't tell us they made you a dean already.
Oh, it's better than that. You're looking at a rich man.
I just dressed down a beggar. I feel great.
He called me out to the office. There was a lawyer there, and he told me I have inherited a fortune. This is from a dead relative I've never even heard of. Well,
would you believe he's a
I'm
Nigerian
rich. Isn't
prince?
anybody going to say anything?
Congratulations. I have good news also, Anton. It's either feast or famine, it seems. Tell him, Amelia.
Uh-oh.
It looks as if fate took care of us all today. A year ago, Father bought a lottery ticket.
I'd forgotten all about it.
What?
They notified him this afternoon. He won 300,000 lives.
But that's fantastic. Incredible that this is happening to both of us at the same time. But
It is
happening.
incredible. What kind of lottery draws a year later?
That's a great question. I swear I just saw this story somewhere. What the fuck was I watching?
And thank you again for the dress. It's lovely.
I'll buy your dresses in Paris. We'll travel. We'll stay at nothing but the best hotels. Nothing will be too good for us.
But first you have to kill a man.
Uh-oh.
Amelia, listen to me. I can't stop now. The book says if I don't complete the ritual once it's begun, I must die.
Anton, please stop this foolish thing. If you love me,
It will all be over tomorrow night.
will you walk into a jail and ask for a criminal to kill?
I don't know. I must find a man who has committed a crime. I must seek
Any
out
criminals
him.
in stock? That's the threat.
What the hell?
Here he goes.
He's just going right for it. Uh-oh.
Got a match?
Fool.
Is that the same beggar?
Don't I know you? We met before, and I took your advice.
Advice?
Yes, you told me never to beg, remember? You said do anything, but don't beg.
Yes, I did.
Lie, cheat, and steal, you said. I don't know how to cheat, but I can steal. And I did. Not much, mind you. Just what the market throws out.
Stealing is a crime. It's evil.
Better than asking for charity. That's what you told me.
Yes, you may be right. Listen, my friend. I'm going to buy you dinner. A real dinner. We won't call it charity. Just
We'll call it a Last Supper.
friendship.
Oh shit. This isn't dinner.
This is a knife.
Kill an evil man. Kill an evil man.
I don't know if he was that evil.
Anton, we expected you for dinner.
Where is that book?
What book?
That book.
Uh-oh.
So you're going on with it.
Where is it? Where is it?
Wow, nice job hiding it. In the bookshelf, but Well, that's the last place he'd think to look.
The ritual is almost completed. I have killed a man. What? He's much better off now. He won't have to beg or steal.
You killed a man?
He was evil. He was a thief.
What have you done? What's going to happen to us?
Tomorrow the whole world will be at my feet.
Oh, shit.
No, you're wrong. Don't you see there's only one way left? You must give yourself up.
I must go to the cemetery.
Anton!
Amelia? What is it?
Anton, he's gone mad.
Yep, you know how it is when you get that friend and they get really into a book and all of a sudden it just changes their whole personality. They're like you don't even recognize them anymore. They're not even the same person.
I have killed an evil man. I have completed the ritual of the Book of Ghouls.
You have failed. You have only killed a poor, harmless soul. You must die.
Oh shit! Struck him down right there.
I have fulfilled all demands. I have sought out a man who did evil and killed him. The ritual is completed.
Wait, what? Who is that? Is that the
father?
The father?
His landlord.
Damn!
He got his witchcraft sloppy seconds.
Oh shit! Okay. No Lon Chaney at all in this episode. Wow.
But it's starring Lon
Chaney. It did. It continues to say starring Lon Chaney, but we didn't. We heard his usual voiceover, and that was it. Wow. Well, that was the Book of Ghouls. So, what did we think, Evan?
It all worked out in the end, I guess.
I guess it did. It is interesting to think that that's what we didn't see the whole time, is the father also like looking at the book like, okay, like I'd love to see the shot of like, okay, the guy leaves the bookstore after ripping the beak off the raven, and then the dad comes in through like the back way, like also looking for a raven to rip a beak off of.
Yeah. Do you have any more ravens back there?
It's and again, just the beak, please. I don't need the rest of it. I just want the beak. That was a hilarious, as you said, very Python-esque, without a doubt. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, interesting to think that you had this other character doing the same thing, and I guess just a little more. I mean, it was happening before our eyes the whole time, right? He was getting better. Good things. He won the lottery, right? Good things were happening for him. But, we just think, oh, that's part of the other guy's ritual. So that is kind of an interesting.
It's clever.
Playing,
I didn't see it.
Yeah, playing on the audience's expectations, kind of like just associating that good luck with everything else. It's like, oh no, dude, it's a twist. I mean, that's essentially what you have. Which, I mean, I can take or leave plot twists, like they're feel like a little bit of a cop out. Something like to an extent. I mean, that ending maybe some may say is kind of feels like a cop out. But on the other hand, it's like if they do the job right, then they are kind of giving you the answer the whole time, right? They're showing you like, oh, well, this other stuff is happening, and you may think that there's one reason for it, but there's actually a whole other reason you didn't even consider. And we're going to tell you now. And it's like, well, yeah, I guess that works.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked this one. Where do you think it stacks up in the... I mean, we had kind of a litany of crimes tonight, but... I mean, we had another murder. I guess that's at least... Well, we had 2 murders. Is that worse than the butler killing? How many people did the butler kill last week?
I think the butler just got 1. He didn't, unless he was responsible for all the other murders. Remember, there were the ghost murders.
Yeah.
So it depends.
That's true.
Was that really a ghost, or was just that also the butler? I don't know.
I don't know.
So we had the butler, who maybe had 1. I don't even remember who killed who when the window one. Do you remember?
Not really. No. Did somebody get murdered? I know
Didn't the painter murder somebody or kill himself, or he did something, right?
Somebody died, but I don't really remember.
I don't know. That's probably been that was the least impressionable one so far, or that one was. And again, I'm still, the hand was still the best one for me, the black hand. I really like the concept of the last one, and then this one was some, again, if you like twist endings, this had a nice little twist ending. And
yeah, there's interesting ideas in this one. There was one thing that stuck out that I thought was kind of interesting. The idea of this mysterious book that just appears and nobody knows how it got there.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
In like older movies, I don't.
Yeah, just like as a plot point.
I mean,
because there is one like pretty notable example of that from Robert Chambers, The King in Yellow.
Oh,
exactly
okay.
that.
I've heard you talk about that before.
Yeah, it's the same deal. It's, I mean, kind of, it's like a play that shows up, and if you read it, you kind of go insane.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I feel
so
like
when that happened, I immediately made me think of The King in Yellow.
And again, we've talked about the fact that Kurt Siodmak seems to be drawing from, other
I
shorts.
Can't confirm it, but
And
my conjecture is that he might have been a Chambers fan.
When was that written?
I want to say 1890s.
Oh yeah, then Kurt and what was Chambers' nationality? Is he English or American?
I don't want to hang on. I don't want to say. I thought he was British, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd say especially if he was British, I would think that Kurt Siodmak probably had some familiarity with, if not that specific story, then just his work in general.
No, I'm wrong. He's American.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
He's from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Oh, he's a Brooklyn boy. Hanging out with a Brooklyn gorilla. Yeah, I'm sure that, again, with the date on that it's very possible that Kurt Siodmak could have come across that and used it as an inspiration. And again, yeah, it's an interesting kind of plot device to look into and see where it's been done before, because off the top of my head, I can't really, I mean, I think about in movies where some mysterious object, sometimes a book, is like the catalyst for bad things, but
yeah.
not.
I like that. I think it's interesting that, it's like this object almost has a mind of its own, like it's kind of picking its victims.
Yeah. I mean,
especially with tonight, it's got luring them in with promises of wealth.
Oh yeah, big old hefty promises. They
in The King in Yellow, there's no promise of wealth or anything. It's just you start reading this play and you can't stop until you get crazy.
Oh, that's fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like you know, it's how I want to go insane. I want to be reading a play or a script, a screenplay. It would work too. Update a little bit, modern.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that was the Book of Ghouls. A nice, very interesting little installment of 13 Demon Street this evening. So, pretty nice, pretty good stuff. And of course, we'll be back this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for another installment of the Mainstream. And this week we're going to be watching a 1976 sci-fi Frankenstein style story called a movie called Embryo, which stars Rock Hudson as I guess he's a mad scientist, but he's definitely the scientist in the movie. And he basically creates artificial life and then it goes out of control. Again, your classic Frankenstein story. So you gotta love those. And of course here it's dynamics are a little different because of course instead of a Frankenstein you have a giant hideous male monster, and this your creature is a gorgeous 20-something year old looking woman. So flip the dynamics on the head a little bit.
Yeah, we've seen a couple mad scientists trying to make hot partners tonight.
Yeah, we have in the trailers. Yeah, that has been a kind of a recurring thing. It's if you can't find the girl of your dreams, you can always make one, right? That's what these mad scientist movies teach you, right? Isn't that how it works? Hey, you don't even want to know how much more relevant that's going to become whenever as AI and robots become bigger and people just start saying, all right, I'm going to build the perfect partner for me. And then
it's not really going to be mad science at that point.
No.
It's just any given weekday.
Any given weekday, your best buddy cause like, I want to introduce you to my new wife. And
yeah,
it's just
I'm
a
gonna go
robot.
down to the Apple store and get my iWife.
My iWife. I mean, that's essentially like what the movie Her is. Not fully, but it's kind of just that idea of if you actually could find love with artificial intelligence, but it's a whole thing. And in Embryo, this is a flesh and blood thing. It's not a robot, so. Thankful for that. So there should hopefully be, a good, good little Frankenstein story. And you gotta love a female monster, right? It's a girl. But on that note, that brings us to the wonderful cocktail which Evan is going to be bringing us this Friday, even though he's not even going to be there. A little cocktail that Evan's going to be pairing with the movie in a segment which we call
What were you drinking?
What am I going to be drinking on Friday, Evan?
Yeah, this is my treat to you. I'm not going to be in on Friday, but Friday's drink is called It's a Girl.
It's a girl.
So this is I don't think I've been to a baby shower before, but this is what I imagine people probably drink. People probably drink a lot at baby showers, right?
Yeah, well, I guess I have been to like one or two. Yeah, maybe not a lot, but yeah, again,
Right,
a little.
The mother especially, but
well, yeah, but yeah, you might have some kind of little themed little cocktail, little colorful cocktail.
That's what we've got. The It's a Girl. If you want to make this at home, it is equal parts vodka and pink lemonade, and you'll mix that and top with Moscato d'Asti. It's a very sweet dessert wine that we're big fans of it here in my house. It's delicious. So
okay.
it ought to be pretty good.
Okay. I mean, I'm not much of a wine guy, so
yeah, this one it's not really it's very light, very sweet. It's not really like, like a heavy kind of wine flavor.
Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Well, I mean, hey, and you gotta love a good little bit of lemonade. Get a little, you know, something a little cool, and then vodka. I'll have to make a little trip to the liquor store and the grocery store. But that'll be good. That'll be very nice. And of course, if you want to make that drink at home, you can go find that recipe over on our Instagram page. We are over there at Scream Stream Show. We're also over on TikTok at Scream Stream Show and X at Scream Stream Show. I've really been resisting saying X, but it says I'm getting tired.
We'll be there until they make us pay to keep being there, which I hear is in the works.
Yeah, well then I'll probably get out of Dodge sooner than later. But for now, we're over on X, also at Scream Stream Show. Of course, if you want to catch up on any of our past episodes, you can go over to our YouTube page. We're over there at Scream Stream Live. Again, episodes, shorts, all that good stuff. We get all kinds of different things on the socials, so go check them out, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks everybody so much for tuning in tonight. See the little bit of Fresh, a little bit of Sleepy Steve, a little bit of Sweet Feet and Cylorn. Nice to have people chatting, and thanks to everybody who tuned in this evening. And of course, we'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. for another chilling installment of 13 Demon Street. But anything else before we sign off tonight, Evan?
The lesson for tonight is, if you're gonna kill somebody evil, don't go halfsies on it. Make sure they're really evil. This is just a book of fools.
Book of Ghouls, more like Book of Fools. Well, on that note, sweet screams, everybody.
And to all, a good fright.